Good morning, guys, and welcome back to Greensboro Downtown Yoga. I'm Summer, and today we are going to be doing a 30-minute core warrior class focused a lot on our abs, our lower back, and our hips, which, let's be real, that's a lot of the core, right? So we are going to use a little tiny resistance band. This one that I have is a circle loop. If you've just got like a long one and you want to tie it up, that will work as well. This is a dynamic class that fuses together elements of yoga, Pilates, and functional training. So have some fun with it. That's what it's about. We are going to start on your mat with this mini band around our upper knees. So bring it onto kind of your thighs. Feet are hip distance apart, and let's roll all the way down onto our backs. Find a place where there's an arch on your back, and then tip your hips so that arch goes away. We lift our hips. Now notice with that mini band, as you tip your pelvis back, you have to push out on the mini band, and that's a big part of this move. So if you're noticing that those knees are wanting to start to fall in because of that resistance band, that's part of what we're working right here, is those strong, deep stabilizers. Let's roll up one vertebrae at a time. So you're in a bridge position. Our knees and our hips are in one long line. And then one vertebrae at a time, roll yourself back down to the ground. Use your breath to assist with this. So inhale as we lift up. Find that expansion of your belly. Exhale as we roll back down, as if your vertebrae is a string of pearls, one hitting it at a time. And we press out on that mini band so that our hips are engaged. And obviously, if you don't have a mini band, that's okay. You can do all of this without it. Just adds a little bit of extra stability and control. Last one right here. Let's keep our hips lifted. Squeeze our glutes just a little bit more, but then find that link from your knee to your shoulder. So this core line that integrates our entire body, lifts us just a little bit higher. Push your right foot into the ground and lift your left leg on. Lower, other leg. Now I brought my legs so that my knees are in line. You don't have to go that high. Let's do one more each leg. Keep the lift of our hips by finding that core line engagement with our abdominals, our crown of our head, out through our toes. Lower, release, roll down one vertebrae at a time. Let yourself roll onto your right side, or actually it really doesn't matter. But your legs are going to come so they are parallel to the edge of your mat. And lay your body down so you have space under your side body and the floor. Lift your top knee up and down. The important part of this is that your knees and your hips are in line, so you're in this little tiny 90-degree position, really using this hip muscle right here. Here, with that resistance band, it's just adding some extra stability and strength to us. Ditch it if it ever feels too much. Pull your abdominal muscles in so that you have support around the middle of your back. But don't let it become so in that you stop breathing. Take your entire top leg, lift it up. So now feet are no longer glued together. And lower. Lift You notice I keep my hand here on my leg, and that's because I have a really big tendency, if I don't, to do a cheat, which is placing this hand on the floor and using this hand to give me stability. So by placing it on my leg, I'm just guiding and knowing that I'm forcing this leg to do the work versus allowing that cheat to happen. You're gonna hold this next one up, and it's a tiny little press for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. You should feel that hip. We're not going to the other side yet. Lift onto your elbow. Knees now come more out to the side, and we're going to lift into a side plank. Now it's a side plank with one leg or with your knees on the ground. Extend your top leg out. Arm comes to the sky. Lift up a little bit higher by pushing your elbow into the ground. Then lift your top leg up and down. You notice that stabilizing hip under here has to really engage in order to find that place of lift. That's what I want you to find. One more. Lower it down. Come onto your sit bones. So sit really tall. Lift up high, and then one vertebrae at a time, you're going to roll down to the floor. This is about these really deep abdominal muscles right here. If you need to use the hands on the floor, please do. Extend your arms overhead. Big deep inhale. Roll yourself back up, one vertebrae at a time. Again, push out on the band with your knees. If you've been doing Pilates for a while and you feel control with this, allow your legs to lengthen long, but only if you can get to this point and continue to roll up one vertebrae at a time. If you start to use momentum, you're defeating the purpose and the engagement with the abdominals. And what do I mean by using momentum? I mean, you get to this point and you're like, ooh, look at me. Last time, all the way up, all the way down. Remember, your legs are how you want them to be, but you're pulling your toes back to your shins if your legs are straight. And you're pushing your feet into the ground if your feet are on the floor. Feet come flat to the floor. Knees push out on the band, fingers behind ears, and lift your chest up. Yes, I know we still have the other side hip to do. Don't worry, I did not forget about it. We're doing some little chest lifts right here. So we find that nice deep lift, and that upper back comes off the floor. Now hold the next one up. Lift your legs off the floor. Extend right leg. Rotate to your left knee. Come back and extend the opposite side. Now do you feel by having that resistance band on? Oh my goodness, you have to dig deeper into those abdominal muscles. Oh, right there. Keep the pressure out on the band and make this slow and controlled. I want you to feel like you are in taffy. You know, if you go to the beach and the saltwater taffy machine, that's what I want this band to look like. Oh, it's just ooey and gooey and slow. I don't like saltwater taffy, so I'll let you all enjoy that as much as you want. But I don't like cotton candy either. It was very weird. In middle school, I was eating Skittles one day, and I was like, I don't like the taste of these. And I said, I'm never going to eat Skittles or Starburst or sugary candy again. And I haven't. One morning aside, it was a very weird moment. Last one right here. Come back to center. Lower the feet. Now I do love some cookies, so don't get me wrong. I'm not anti-sweets. Lift your chest. I just don't like sugar. One more. Now roll yourself all the way up. Lift up. Oh, you might have to use support that time. And we're going to go to the other side. So laying on our side, knees parallel with hips, legs straight in line with the edge of your mat. Let's lift and lower. So this little dynamic flow that I want to take us through in a moment. Hip stability is going to be really important for it. One more. And let's take the leg all the way up and notice and just kind of be aware of how does one side feel compared to the other. Are you doing the cheat where your hand is on the floor in front of you? Pay attention. Your eyes, your scent, your touch is all I dream of. How about that space between the floor and your oblique? That's the lift of your abdominals and the brace in the center of your body. We want to have that. Hold the next one up. Little tiny presses. Great, one more. Release. Oh, that always gets me. All right, side plank. Start off elbow and shoulder in line. Lift up, both knees are on the floor. And then take that top leg, extend it out. Lift your top leg. Arm can come to the sky. I like that because it helps remind us to keep our chest open versus starting to round down, which will put compression into that spine. And it's just not a good place for our body to be from an alignment standpoint. One more. Oh, and release. Great job. Let's come down. Take the band off your legs. Place it to the side. We're going to use it again in a little bit, but not quite yet. Let's come to the front of the mat and stay in all fours. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And for just a moment right here, I want to talk about something called the palm arch. And this is where you kind of arch your hand like you're palming a basketball. You're pushing this bottom base part of your hand outside of your thumb, outside of your pinky, and then there's tips into the ground. The important part is that your fingers all stay straight versus bending like that. Okay? It's tough. And I was practicing it the other day and doing what I'll tell you that in a second. Hold on, let's do what we're gonna do. Let's step back to a plank. Hold this plank position. Press your shoulders up. So that palm arch, you find you can see a little space between the hand and the floor. Lift your hips, downward dog. Lift your heels, bend your knees, step or jump to the front of the mat. Bend your knees, sit low in the chair, then stand all the way up. Lift your right leg off the ground. Hold. Take this leg behind you. Reach down to the floor in front of you. Lift up. So this is that moment where this standing hip on the ground has to stabilize you. This is the beginning of that flow that I told you is going to be really important to have some hip stability in. He kept walking on the road. Let's stay lengthened back. Push your hand and your foot away from each other. Find this really strong length. Now bend your standing leg down and up. Down. Hands, they don't have to be in front of you. I actually, for this, kind of like to place them onto my leg. Again, is that reminder of, is my knee tracking over the center of my foot? Again, are you feeling that stabilizing hip? I hope so. Let's hold low, hold right here. Stay pushing. Now let's push our arms long. Lift ourselves up. Sit low into a chair position. Sink all the way down until you are seated in a boat position. Hands and legs, or legs lift. Reach your arms and legs away from you. Find that long line from your toes to your head, and then pull it in. Control, yes, lots of it. Find the length out your body. Bring your feet down, lift your chest, roll back one vertebrae at a time. Bring your legs off the floor. Big, deep inhale. Your arms open out to the side. Your knees fall over. Extend your legs. Come back into center. Exhale. Inhale, your knees fall. The legs extend. Come in. We're finding this place where we get extension, but both shoulders stay connected to the floor. So if you're finding that your shoulders are lifting off the ground, don't go quite as low with the legs. Use your obliques, use your abdominals. Last one right here. Bring your knees back to center. Grab your fingertips come behind ears. Lift your chest. We're going to do that same bicycle that we did earlier, but now it's called a crisscross of bodies, and we really find that shoulder to knee connection. And breathe. 3. Great job. Last one each side. Come back to center. Grab behind your legs. You're going to roll back 3 times. 1, just for fun, because I like them. 2. Now this third one is going to bring us all the way up into that small ball. Stand ourselves all the way up and lift our left foot off the ground. Find our long position. Lean down, reach to your leg, and then stand up. Notice it's about this kind of hinge from the hip. And my back is long and flat. If you're rounding and this is your position, then don't go as low. I mean, that's not where we're trying to be. It's shoulder blades squeezed together, open through our chest, so that we are really getting a hinge, and we have this long line from our toe out through the top of our head. Stay back this next one. Stay. Pull, bend your standing knee. You're going to notice I don't go real deep on this side. For those who don't know, I have a pin and 3 cadaver ligaments in my left ankle. Let's see if just a little lift today will help. There we go. And I could let that stop me. You can say I can't do things. I have a bone out of place. I have the arthritis of a 90-year-old woman. That's what they told me 5 years ago. But I said, I'm still going to do what I want. Okay, that's not true. I don't run anymore. I don't jump anymore. But I can still do something. One more. Come up to standing. You're going to take that resistance band and place it back around your knees. This is going to feel a little funky. I'm just going to tell you that from the start, but it's going to be fun. For me. Not quite as fun since I can't see y'all, but in my mind, I know the experience. Okay, big deep inhale, lift your arms to the sky. Exhale, sit low in the chair, push out on the band. Rise up. As you do, your right leg comes to the side. Sit low. Rise up, left leg comes out to the side. Sit. Notice that flexed foot, getting this reach. Let's just keep hands on hips. You want to feel that outer hip. Hold this next one out, leaning into your standing leg, and it's this tiny little press. So you feel those hips, yes? I know. Summer, we already felt them in so many ways. That's the fun. One more, hold it up. Bring your foot back, or stand back up, sit low. Other leg, stand up, let's press it out. This is kind of teaching us where we're gonna go in this flow. Push that foot into the floor. One more, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Come back down. Big deep inhale, lift your arms high. Exhale, sit in the chair, push out with those knees. Inhale, rise. Exhale, chair. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, chair. Left leg lifts. Sit low. 4 tiny little presses. 4, 3, 2, chair. Hold, hold, hold. Stand up. 4 little presses left. 4, 3, 2, sit low. Hold. Lift your arms, big deep inhale. Sit low in the chair. Now lift your heels. Come all the way down to the floor. Hands under hips. Step back so your knees are under shoulders. Nope, your knees are under hips. Lift your knees an inch off the floor. Press out on that mini band. Rotate your knees forward and in. Rotate. Notice that back, it's long and neutral. Your palm arch is there on the floor supporting you. Last one. Hold center. Hold, hold, hold. Lower your knees. Hands come a little bit more forward. Slide your right leg back. Lift and lower. I don't want you to come high. Notice I'm coming maybe 6 inches. Maybe a little higher. It's about squeezing the hips. One more. Bend your knee in. Take the other leg back. Lift. Now, how squared can our shoulders be to the floor? Are we integrating those arms as we push into the mat and lift our upper back? Hips are square. Bend both knees, and now you're going to take toes, lift, and you're going to just kind of step into that small little ball. We're going to lift all the way up. Right leg comes up. Oh, take it out to the side. Little pulse for 4, 3, 2. Sit low into the chair. Stand up. Little tiny press. 4, 3, 2. Sit low all the way down. Step back into that little all fours. Tick tock. And in. Stay centered. Knees come down. Right leg, left arm. And out. Do you notice how the resistance band forces you to get even more length out your arm and leg? Yeah. I love that feel. Lift up. Let's do the whole thing one more time. Lift ourselves up. Right leg comes high. Sit low into that standing leg. We're going to change just one thing. 2, 4. Now this leg comes behind you. You sink low into your standing leg. You ready for that? Oh, yes, we do. Stand up, sit up. Lift up the left leg, pulses out. So by having this dynamic kind of continuous flow through it, looking the leg back, we are finding ways that as fatigue starts to set in, are we still able to support ourselves? And that's part of why I do these dynamic flows that build on each other. Because we might find the first time we did it, we're like, yay! But then what happens in life when we start to get tired at the end of the day and our hips need to support us? That's when it matters. Come back in, sit low, hands down, step back. Walmart, knees only an inch off the floor. Rotate your knees forward and in. Squeeze those abdominal muscles so you are really braced in the center. Last one, lower your knees, right or left leg or whatever. It doesn't matter. Last one, each side. Lift. And down. Beautiful job, guys. Roll over. That band is still on our legs in that same place that it's been throughout today. Sit up super tall. Roll yourself down. Push out on the band as we roll ourselves back up. Now this time, can your legs lift? Maybe, maybe not, your choice. Roll back down. So what that is it's teaser, where we come up, and then we roll back down. Now, by using the band, you're forcing those legs to engage. Could I come into a full teaser? Oh no, I think my back is straight today. Oh, maybe. Let's do 2 more. Find a version that works for you right now. There it is. I couldn't grab my ankles, but that's okay. Last time, you be engaged. Chest is lifted. Feet come down. Let's take that resistance band off. Yay! Sit up super tall. Roll yourself down 1 vertebrae at a time. Now without the band, it's kind of like, oh, that didn't feel too bad. Knees go to one side. Look over your opposite shoulder. Come back to center. And switch to the other side. So I hope you enjoyed kind of that dynamic movement through some hip and abdominal work. It's a different way to kind of do abs and do hips. Those who've done different core warrior classes with me, you know I like to change it up and mix it up a little bit. But we always stay rooted in those kind of principles of some yoga, pilates type elements or functional movement. Let's hug our knees in. Bring your knees to the side. Roll yourself up to seated. Let's sit super tall. Take a big deep inhale up. Hands, heart, center. Amazing work today, guys. I hope you got some nice work in those abs, those hips. Find different ways to stabilize them throughout your day. And until next time, I'm Summer.